What's going on, everybody? This is Token Guys, and bringing you your scrub play of the day here on Scrubcraft. And I'm here with, once again, the one and only
Dash Burnside. What's going on, guys?
Yep, and we're going to be bringing you a PZ Met team-up versus Thunderpig.
Thunderpig!
And it looks like Barry. Deep voice. And I'm doing my usual random. I got Protoss again. I don't know what it is, but I got a lot of Protoss today, which is good because we've been doing pretty well with the Protoss Zerg action, aren't we?
Yes, we were. And following my success last time, or moderate success, I think I ran the same strategy of doing a 10 Overlord instead of a 10 Pool.
Yep, and we're going to be looking at that. Let's see. Get the production tab down here. Yeah, looks like you're just 10 Overlord, and I'm doing my usual 9 Pylon. And now, a lot of people ask me, like, I've been playing with a lot of people that are newer bronze players. A lot of my friends just started trying to play, and they're always asking me, like, why is my Pylon over here? It's not very good for the wall. Actually, it's a lot better because you have to remember the Pylon supplies the power for all your shit. If it goes down, you're fucked. So I like to put the Pylon in the back and then the buildings up front for the wall because this ramp is super small, and like I'm not gonna close it off. I'm just putting a couple of buildings in there in case we have to, you know, if Stash has to put his creep down and get some damn spine crawlers up, just enough to plug up a nice little size hole and take some heat off of Stash because Zerg can't really wall off. So
nope, we have to make a critter wall, which, going with the particular build that I am, it does take me a smaller amount of time to get some folks out before everybody else, but when they do come out, they come out in large numbers.
So we do have Barry going down his usual 12 racks. He's getting out his refiner, it looks like, at 14, so he's very standard build. And it looks like Thunderpig is doing a very standard build as well, so we got a lot of standard shit going down. My shit's a little bit later, but that's because I was misclicking all over the damn place.
It tends to happen.
It looks like Stash getting his pool down, getting ready for the... looks like the Queen.
Yep, getting that Queen going. I like to get that Extractor, as always, for those early upgrades.
Yep, gotta do it. So we noticed they weren't really walling off, so I'm not gonna go too, you know, crazy with going in there, breaching it, but Stash is going to use that to his advantage in a little bit. And Thunderpig getting down an early expansion, which is very, very risky for Protoss, especially on this map.
Yeah, he's trying to get that early economy game going, and I don't think it's going to pay off for him.
No, I would not recommend it. Usually I do recommend a fast econ, but that's usually when it's a mirror match, like Terran Protoss versus Terran Protoss, or just Terran. Like, if you have Zerglings on the map, you gotta be careful. I don't know why I said Zerglings like that, but you gotta be careful because these rocks, once they go down, Zerg have a huge space to just do run-bys. It's really, really bad. You gotta be careful.
And I'm just gonna make a quick peek in here, just kind of throw some lings away just to see what they're up to.
Yep, and taking out that. No, just take out that Marine. Going for the Pylon, I believe. Yep, you go for the Pylon because that will really... We didn't see the one in the back, but we were hoping that was the only one. Take it out, and he just pulls his entire line off to deal with that. Now, some say that's the smart thing to do. That was extremely dumb. That Pylon had enough health and shield to wait for the Zealot to get out. If it kept waiting, he would have been fine. But he rushed the gun, and that actually is going to hurt him economically, especially since he needs that extra econ to point into the second base. So, very standard stuff going down. I'm getting my third gate down. I'm chronoing out my stupid warp gate technology. And then I'm going to be getting out a Robo, 3-gate Robo. Very good build.
And at this point, I've got my Roach Warren going down. And this time I decided to go with a few more drones just to give me that little bit of economic boost that I need. Because I did not want to get early game rushed like we did last time and have to sacrifice a lot of forces just fending off a couple Marines.
Now, usually in this instance, he doesn't have this much minerals, but as he said, he's trying to get ready to push out units really quickly. So we got a lot of upgrades coming, another extractor, and we also got, it looks like he's morphing his hatchery.
Yep.
Now, a lot of
always get that upgrade to lair because that lets you get all those Tech 2 upgrades.
And in a push like this, it's really not that bad. You can econ a little bit up like this, and then just let your econ go wild, just because. Try to get that larva down, trying to make sure you got the upgrades down, and then push out the units. It's fine, as long as you keep the larva production.
I always try to. Going for that early expansion.
Me on the exact opposite, getting some stalkers out. I got one zealot out. A little bit worse for wear on the econ. I really don't have much going on except for some gas, because that robotics facility was a little heavy, and I didn't have the second assimilator out until a little bit later than usual. so I will be a little bit behind, but that's okay because I can get Zealots out to supplement my military. That would be very good as a shield to everything Stash has.
It's interesting to note, though, because Thunderpig has just finished his robotics facility, so he's actually a little bit behind you.
And yet again, another Protoss that is not going with Warp Gate. I don't understand that reoccurring theme today.
Yeah, well, he's getting 2 gateways.
Oh, there, he's got the Cyber Core, but he's not researching it. I don't know. I think he's just trying to get production out off this expansion, but really, you shouldn't have done that. He should have done a little bit of a different build. He needs to get that Warp Gate down. I know a fast expand is important, but so is Warp Gate. So, building up a nice-sized army. We have an observer up here just in case they try to do shenanigans. We didn't get a very good scout on everything. We did not yet know about the second expansion until now. Look at once again, the Lings being killed by all the probes being pulled off the line. That is going to stop him economically at that second base. Not smart. Looks like very standard stuff going on at the base right here. The waiting game. Oh, and there's Stash's expansion.
Gotta love it.
Yes, you
now,
do.
I'm not the fastest that could ever be, but it is important to know when your timing is going to be so that you can actually get stuff operating once your expansion has gone down, because you'll notice I take a little too long to get anything going out of this.
Yeah, it's not, you know, oh wow, stuttering a lot. Basically just, we've been out of practice for a while. I'm surprised we actually did this well. And a lot of people always, you know, scrutinize people like, why are you doing things a little bit later in 2v2, things like that. It's just, you have to remember, 2v2 is not 1v1. When you're watching the pros or 1v1 matches, speed is of the utmost importance. But when you're playing 2v2, you really have to assess what your enemies are doing and what your partner is doing. A lot of people just assess what they're doing in the enemies. You have to know what your partner's doing, because if your play doesn't match up with your partner's, you're just fucked.
Pretty much.
So we're pushing out right now. We have a ton of roaches. I got my proxy pylon going down over here, and we're going to hit the back wall because we want to make sure we hit him from the side he's not prepared on. He's getting his probes out, though.
Yeah, we did notice that in the playthrough. Because, again, we don't have really the best scout, but it does well.
I mean, Cannon trying to get us, but you know, too much. I got the Immortal in the back. He needs to get up. Getting those Guardian shields down to help us out.
And those shields really did help us out a lot.
Yep.
Always important to mitigate as much damage as you can.
And here's something interesting that we do. Stash keeps up on the base, getting these pylons out, and I actually switch positions and go up the ramp from the other side while he sweeps around from that side. Why? Because while the Terran does have great positioning, he had good positioning for us coming from one side and bottlenecking us, but since we split ourselves up, they got overwhelmed right there.
Yep, and it's poor positioning on his part for those tanks.
Yeah, especially the stalker.
A little farther away.
Yeah, he should have. And it was a good idea on their part using this stupid little gap to get us, but it just didn't work out for him with that tank placement. And we're just gonna push right up the ramp. Stalkers are just sitting back taking pot shots. The roaches are dying, and a lot of people are just going, "Why are you letting Stash's roaches die?" It's simple. I'm trying to get re-up in forces, but not only that, I'm letting him do his damage, and I'm just taking pot shots at the supply while it's happening. That way I have more troops than the enemies. We out-house them. And Kahlo coming up, trying to poke my shit. But
and that's going to be a huge hit on this Protoss there.
Oh, yeah.
Lost eye.
Yep. Lost side down. I have that Immortal, and that's going to be the GG. Like, you just can't... I mean, we're just going to keep sweeping shit up, but after that, it was pretty much game over right there. They're still going. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, the conga line. I love conga lines. My favorite, that's the GG. Yep, always the conga line of roaches. You know shit's going down when you see that menacing piece of shit going down the damn middle of the map. Now, that's going to be the GG. As you can see, I was getting my expansion out, but we really didn't need it. And the reason why I didn't really commit to the expansion, neither did Stash, is just because when you make a giant push like that, and you realize that it's pretty much over for them, there's no need. We knew they could not resupply fast enough to deal with our forces. Just too much.
And I actually just left my expansion there for a good 5 minutes. Not a good testament to good gameplay, folks. Definitely watch your expansions there.
Yep, definitely. But in games like this, really, you have to remember in 2v2, it's a very big thing that a lot of lower league bronze players and silver leaguers like us, because we're like high bronze, mid silver, and skill. A lot of people in the lower and mid-silver leagues, they like to just turtle up too much, and they don't really commit to pushing out, and that's a really big problem. You have to get map control in 2v2. It's more pivotal than it is in 1v1.
It really is, because these guys they had the forces, but they didn't really use them effectively.
No,
you
they
notice
didn't.
he had tanks, but he brought those tanks out of his base when really, if he knew there were forces coming, he should have just continued with the turtle.
Yeah, that expansion was just gone, and we didn't even kill the expansion off. Like, we were going for the main base. They should have seen that, and they should have accounted for it, because I mean, he could have dropped 2 bunkers there. They would have been fine. We didn't have very good vision up that ramp.
No, we really didn't. And we didn't get it because, again, not the best scouting in the world, but we were doing pretty good as far as just pumping stuff out. And like I said, got my roaches coming back up here just in case. Wasn't really sure if the Terran was going to GG. Didn't know if he had any other expansions. We were just covering our butts at that point.
Yep. And if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're getting pushed and you're a Protoss Terran, what you really need to do is you need to take into account the fact that the Protoss and Terran team up is an amazing team up. I mean, it gives you so many abilities to defend. So if you do find yourself getting pushed, make sure you fall back on those defenses. Don't do it stupidly. Like, don't build like a fuckload of cannons. But what you need to do is make sure you're using the bunkers and the siege tanks that the Terran has, and the Terran is able to push out because he can lift off his orbital commands. He could have done that.
He could have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look around the map. Like, there's bases everywhere. This map is huge on the edges, and if we were just parked outside, he could have used the edge of this map to literally just sneak out.
True. Yeah, and he has so many SCVs right here. I mean, I know this is just probably full saturation at this point, but I mean, if he started seeing things going south, he wasn't bothering to turtle up. He probably should have just moved left, get some stuff going, and try and make a push back.
And as stupid as it sounds, they're already getting those siege tanks out, which is good because their siege tanks are pretty decent at hitting stalkers and roaches. I mean, we do have a lot of bulk in our units with tier 1.5, but they still would have done enough damage to push us back, to make us kind of reassess ourselves and expand, which they could have used to wisely counter us. I mean, they've got a robo down. They've got the stupid what's it called, the robotics bay and the robotics facility. So he could have built a little bit more Kalos. He could have built a shitload of immortals to counter. Just poor placement on his part. I really don't understand why he doesn't have the warp gates still. That is the big one.
Yeah, that's kind of a glaring problem here. Even though he is trying to get that high tech stuff, you still got to support your low tech stuff. You got to have it.
Because, I mean, as you can see, I mean, high-tech is great, but we're overwhelming people who have higher tech with mid-grade units, which is, I gotta say, always remember the mid-range units, especially in 2v2. Very good compositions everywhere. Usually when you're our composition, I mean, the Stalker Roach is good. Another really good one is Stalker Marauder. And
that is a good one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And when you're Terran, definitely, in Terran Zurich, definitely do Marines Roach. The reason why I don't want to get the 1.5 Marauders is simple. You need to have one unit capable of anti-air. And Roaches are far better as a tier 1.5 unit. A lot of people go, why? Marauders have Concussive Shell. Concussive Shell is great and all, and they get Stim Pack, that's nice, but Roaches are just bulkier, and plus they're just hurtful with Marines. And Marines butch with Roaches is just heinous.
Yes, it is.
But, yep, that's going to be the GG. I hope you guys enjoyed this dual casting. More to come, especially with Stash Burnside here. And see you all next time. Later, nerds.
See you later, guys.